Hello everyone, welcome to K-Pop Queen for your now and daily reactions to all things K-pop. Okay, right now I'm finally about to give y'all the Parasite review. I have been waiting to do this video for a long time, a long time. I saw this movie months ago and I'm only now doing the review for it. I don't know why, but I guess that's just how life is sometimes. Let's get into it. Like, this has been the most talked about movie. We just saw that it got nominated for 6 Oscars, okay? It is Best Picture, Best Director, Foreign Language Film, Best Original Screenplay, and Best Production Design. Oh, and also Best Film Editing. That's 6 noms right there, okay? I mean, it makes sense, but what doesn't make sense is that none of the actors got nominated, like no Best Supporting, no Best Actress, which, that don't make no fucking sense. Let's be real honest. I feel like if we're really gonna talk about this film, I mean, it was a great collaboration of obviously great directing. I mean, Bong Joon-ho is brilliant, of course. The screenplay's great, the story's great, the writing's great, the shots were amazing. It was, you know, very thrillerish, so music was helping with that. But the performance is what we're all watching. We're watching the actors tell the story. So how are you not giving them nominations for that? I mean, that doesn't make any fucking sense. But then again, they didn't really nominate people of color this year, so just gonna move on from that. The fact that none of the actors really got nominated for any of the performances doesn't make any sense. In fact, it's distasteful. Let me just say that right now. Let me be very clear on things. Sung Kang-ho, who plays the father in the film, very revered actor, very well known. People know him as like just a phenomenal actor. They're gonna go out and see his films and they know that it's gonna be a performance, okay? Now, him and Bong Joon-ho have done a couple of films together, so they're like the actor, director, duo, combo, dream team, everything, you know? They've done Parasite, obviously, The Host, which I think is like the most well-known movie between them, and I think Bong Joon-ho's most famous film, or like a cult classic, like people really love that film. They also have done Memories of Murder, which is the first film I ever saw of Bong Joon-ho, and I think it's also his first film. So they've done a lot together, a couple of films together, and for me, like I said, the first time I ever saw Bong Joon-ho was Memories of Murder, and I saw it in my Korean culture in TV and film class in college. I took it as like an elective because I needed something, and I was like, oh, you know, I've always been interested in Korean culture, so I don't know why I never took any of these classes they're being offered, and I don't know why I never thought to take this until like my fucking senior year, right? And so we watched Memories of Murder, and I felt like I had just been introduced to film, not to be dramatic, but like to tell the truth, I was like, how have I never heard of this man? Why did I not know about these films? Like, I'm really missing out. And what's crazy is that I love foreign films. Like, I love reading my subtitles. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have a problem with that. So the fact that I had missed out on his films was like really crazy to me. And the fact that this was the first time I'd heard of him. Other actors as well were giving us such great performances. Choi Woo-sik, I mean, who we saw in The Divine Fury and Train to Busan. He is just, I mean, wow. Wow. I will never, you know, we're gonna talk about it, but there's this one scene where I was just like I was staring so hard into the screen. I was literally leaning forward in my seat and I was like, are you really doing this right now? Like, this is really how the story is going. This is the performance you're giving. This is insane. Park So-dam, who we love and know, she's phenomenal as well. Jung Hee-jin, who played the mother. I mean, everyone in this was so good. Everyone was giving literally the entire cast. Like, I just don't know how they're not getting any nominations for that. Did you watch the fucking film? That's what it, like, did you watch the film? Like, you're giving credits to, you know, the director, the original screenplay and all that, but like, what about the actors? Like, if you're gonna give credit, give full credit, okay? That's just my opinion, okay? Now, the plot that is on Google, okay, this is what it says. Which is interesting. It says, greed and class discrimination threaten the newly formed symbiotic relationship between the wealthy Park family and the destitute Kim clan. Which is a great description of the film, honestly. It really does tell you the whole film, but you still are kind of like, I don't really understand what's going on. Obviously, someone's about to get played, but how played are they about to get? And that you couldn't possibly see coming, like, at all. And I think that's sort of the charm of Bong Joon-ho. He always has something up his sleeve. He's always doing something that, like, you would never see coming. And when it does happen, you're like, oh, shit. Oh, my God. What the hell? This is what you want to do? Okay, all right, fine. All right, I'm in it. So, okay. I want to talk about the theory of the name Parasite and who you think the parasite is, because I have read somewhere and Google, this is what someone had said, that the parasite was actually Mr. Kim, the Kim family, coming into this wealthy family, the Park family, and like taking everything from them. But I don't agree with that. I think that the true parasite was the housekeeper's family. Obviously, that man had been in that basement for years, and let me tell you something. It was freaky. I literally, my heart was racing when that housekeeper is running down the stairs into that second basement, and she's like, "Yobo, Yobo." I was like, oh my God, everyone's gonna die right now. Like, I literally was like, oh, well, this must be the end of the film. Like, everyone's about to fucking die because what the hell is down there? It was literally like just insane. So I truly think that the parasite of the family, or of the whole film, is the housekeeper's family. I mean, they are the ones, that man went out and killed everyone. That man came out swinging and stabbing, okay? Now, granted, he was pissed. His wife did die, and her body was down there with him, and he had been in there for years. So obviously, you know, I get it. I understand. But I don't see how you couldn't think that that man and the housekeeper is the parasite, because they are the ones that were truly, like, living off of the Park family. They were the ones that were truly getting the most out of it. I mean, that man no longer had to be harassed by the credit dealers and have the debt. And granted, that woman was going through it, and I'm sure she was paying something or trying to get them off her back, but like, she had her husband, and he was alive, which in her opinion was the greatest thing possible. It was the greatest thing she could ask for, the greatest outcome out of the entire situation. So that's who I think was the parasite, and that's why the film was called Parasite, because literally he's deep within the house, comes out and just starts murdering. My favorite bits of the film, my favorite bit is the ending, which I know sounds a little like, wow, did you hate it that much? No, I loved it. I loved the way that it ended. And this is why I was looking at Cho Yui-shik as the brilliant actor that he is. He's telling the story of how he has been like, you know, everything has gone out. They like get judged for scamming this family. I don't think they go to jail. I think they have a very light sentence, just because although they did scam the family, it's not like the mom and Cho Yui-shik themselves really did any hurt. Plus, the sister had died at this point. I think they had taken all that into account, and the father's the one that really had killed Mr. Park. So really, just the mom and the son, the two of them, hadn't done too much besides scam some people, you know? So I think they got a light sentence and had like community service or something like that. I cannot remember. And also, Cho Yui-shik had been nearly beaten to death with a rock, and by the time he had come out of it, I think it had been 3 months afterwards. So I think they took all that into account and were like, okay, you almost died, but you did scam these people, but you did almost die, so we gonna be nice to you. When he is like trying to figure out where his father is, and he goes back to the house and he sees the Morse code in the light, and he like finds the message and realizes that his father has been in the house the whole time, which, let me tell you something. When I realized and saw him come out the house and he looked at the camera and it had been cut from the previous weeks before, so he runs back into the house. When I saw that, I let out a little yelp. Like, I was in the theater like, ooh! And I wasn't the only one. Everyone else in the theater had gasped and was like audibly like shook that this is what was gonna happen, that this was the story, right? And so he gets the Morse code, he's reading all of it, and he's like, he starts writing this letter to his father, and it starts to play out in real life. So I automatically believed it like a fucking dumbass. I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Is this a beautiful ending? So he says, you know what, Dad? I'm gonna work so hard. I'm gonna get into college. I'm gonna save us. We're gonna be wealthy. I'm gonna buy the house. When I buy the house, you're gonna know. So just come upstairs one day and you'll see us. Just come upstairs and we'll be able to be a family again. And so you see that touching scene of Sang Kang-ho come up the stairs from the basement and him being joined by his son and wife in the garden. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what a beautiful ending. And then it cuts to Cho Yui-shik still in that half basement thing that him and his family had been living in before, still poor, very cold. Snow is coming in through the window, and you just see him shaking and writing, and he's like, but until that day, Father, you know, stay healthy, rest well. And then he just holds the letter, and it's just kind of like, like he just kind of like breathes, and then it ends. And I literally sat back in that theater. I took my fucking glasses off and I said, you know what, bitch? You know what? What the fuck? I don't know if you guys fell for that. Tell me if you guys fell for that fake ending, because I truly believed in my heart. I was like, okay, great. What a happy ending. Y'all are together. I truly believed it. And so when we cut to that scene of him still in that like dank place, still destitute, still poor, snow coming in, I was like, I was so thrown off. I did not see that coming. Maybe I'm dumb and I just, automatically believe the things that I see, but that really shook me, and that's why it's my favorite part of the movie, because I did not see it coming. There's this Vulture article that I want to read a little bit of, and I think it's really important and helps us understand Bong Joon-ho and his storytelling. It says, Bong Joon-ho movies tend to end where they begin. The detective in the Memories of Murder returns to the ditch where he discovers one of the serial killer's first victims. Let me tell you something. If you haven't seen Memories of Murder, go and watch Memories of Murder. Fantastic. Based on a true story about a serial killer who is killing women, I think raping and killing women in a very, very distinct way, in this like small town, or maybe it was really in Seoul, but I think they based it in a small town, or maybe it was really in a small town. I honestly can't remember, but whatever the case, serial killer raping and killing women in a very particular way, based off a true story from the 80s, I want to say, or maybe the 90s, and they never caught the guy who did this, and I think he killed like 8 or 10 women. Like, it was a lot. It was a huge epidemic, a huge thing, and he made the film off of it. So definitely go and watch that. Not for the faint of heart. It is gruesome. Again, based off a true story. Just know that. Okay, yes, the titular mother in Mother dances, her arms swaying like wheatgrass. The little girl Mija returns to the countryside after saving her pet from the slaughterhouse in Okja. The world appears unchanged, but they are no longer the same. Instead, there is a disquieting dread. That quote right there, the world appears unchanged, but they are no longer the same. Like a perfect description of Parasite. Where do we start out? In that half basement or semi basement, just the depths, if I'm being honest. The depths, they're very, very poor, right? They're in there folding the boxes, trying to get money, right? And then it ends, they're still in that same place, but God, it is so much worse. It is so much more quiet. It's not nearly as lit up, because when you first see them, that place is lit up, the lights on, the family's all together doing something. But when we get back there, we see Choi Shik and his mother, dark, snow coming in, dreadful feeling. It's just, I mean, it's so much worse than where they had started off. Another moment that really caught my attention, and this one for me, I was like, okay, so this is gonna be a film. When, or this is gonna be a performance. This is what we're about to get. When the housekeeper woman, played by, I was just watching her dramas. She's so phenomenal. Played by Lee Jung-eun. When she like literally is like trying to get Choi Yo-jung, the Park mother, like the mother of this whole family, the rich family, very unaware of things. When she tries to get her attention, she literally like claps loudly or like slaps on the table, and then the mother just, the way that woman just got up after all that loud clapping, I was like, I was like, oh my God. What the fuck? What is going on? What is wrong with this woman? Why is she like this? But I just love that moment so much, because it's like, it's such a small moment, but it was so impactful for me. I was like, it really set the story for me. I was like, okay, so now I see what Park Seo-joon's character was talking about, because he was describing the mother as like very easygoing, very simple. And I was like, okay, so what does that mean? Like, what does that mean? But then when I saw that moment and her just like making all that noise and her just literally getting up almost robotic, like, I was like, oh, this woman's going through it. She's going through it, and that is why she needs to be this simple. She needs help. She needs someone to watch over her. She needs some friends. She needs to get around some people. But I really love that moment. I just thought it really set the story for me and really set the tone. Another moment I really loved, obviously, was when we learned the dark secret. Because the whole time I said, what the fuck is this film about? Like, I know y'all about to scam, but are y'all about to kill this family as well? Because that's what Parasite does, right? So when the housekeeper comes over and is like, hey, I just want to see the dogs, like, is that okay? At first I was like, okay, that's a little, all right, fine, come see the dogs, all right. We were having a lovely family moment, scamming this family, enjoying their food and everything, but okay, come on in, right? So when she comes in and she rushes over to like the the basement and goes to the wine wall. Oh, no, she like rushes in, right? And you're like, okay, all right, fine, right? And then she's gone for a long time. And I'm like, y'all are about to die. That's what I literally said. I was like, this is the end of the film. Like, y'all are going to get murdered by this woman. She wants her job back, right? Little did I know, she wasn't even really interested in the job. She's interested in something else. So we go down to the basement. We see her trying to move this huge shelf. And the mom, the Kim mom, she's like watching her and she's like, what the fuck? Okay, I'll help you. She's like so bewildered by what she's seeing. And then as the housekeeper goes down the stairs and she's like, yo, I was like, oh, what the fuck? Oh, no. Is there a person down there? Oh, no. At first I was like, is it going to be a zombie? Is that what it's going to be? Is it going to be a vampire? Are we taking it to a mystical element? No, we're not taking it to a mystical element. We're keeping it real. We're keeping it 1,000. Once they realize each other's situations, like once they see that like we too have sort of been scamming, but not really scamming because all we did was keep that man down here and feed him. And then y'all have actually been scamming them, taking their money, pretending to do this, pretending to be experts in that, right? Once they see their situations, that's when you see another shift in the film. That's when you see like the film is going again in a different direction. Now it's no longer about like, it's no longer like, okay, we're gonna scam this family and like stop being so poor. Now it's like, okay, we have to get rid of this other people that have been scamming them because we need to survive. It's survival of the fittest. It's like both of us cannot be doing this. We both cannot be like, you know, clinging onto this family and taking from them. So who of us is going to survive? Which one of us is going to be able to keep doing it? So once you see that shift in the film, the sense of urgency goes up. Just the way that the people are acting changes completely. It just feels more life or death at this moment. So just what a fucking twist in the film. Never could have seen that coming. Loved it. My other favorite part of the film, honestly, when Song Kang-ho stabs Lee Sung-kyun, Mr. Park, the wealthy man of the entire family, when he stabs him. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Again, didn't see that coming. Because I was like, y'all are already at the pits. Y'all already at the fucking end. You cannot make this worse for yourself. And then he stabs him. And he made it a lot worse. Let me tell you something. When the sister, after she's been stabbed, she's on the floor and her mom is trying to like hold down to her wound and like stop it from bleeding. They look up at him like, they were like, are you for real right now? They were shook. And I too was looking up at him like, are you serious? What the fuck? Why would you stab him? It was like everything had finally come to culmination. After him hearing that, like, they think he smells, they think less of him, they just don't think he's great, they think he, like, approaches a line and almost crosses it, realizing that they think less of him has driven him insane. He starts noticing it in every single moment. And then he realizes that, like, it's not me that's looking down on them and scamming them. It is them looking down on me for just being a good worker, for just, like, driving you around, for being poor. Drove him so insane that he felt the need to kill that man. You know what I mean? Like, his son has just collapsed after seeing the really destitute man come out from that basement, because it's a flashback to when he saw him again when he was in the 2nd grade or something. He's seeing that imagery again. He passes out. They have to rush to the hospital, but they don't want to take nobody else with them. They're like, it's our son. We don't even care that your daughter is bleeding out really badly. We don't give a fuck. It's our son. And they're like, we only have 10 minutes to save him. And I was like, I don't know. Like, I'm really sorry for that little boy, but this girl is bleeding out. Are we not going to share the car? We're not gonna do that? Oh, okay, all right. That's fine. So when he has to give him the keys, throws in the keys, and it lands like next to the man after the crazy man after he has been stabbed and is like bleeding out and dying as well. And you just see Lee Seung-kyun. We get a real close-up shot of him like holding up his nose and just like scrunching it and being like, oh, this smells is so terrible. Why do I have to go through this? You can literally see the wheels turn in Song Kang-ho's mind. Like, you can literally see him like realize like, wow, we're less than because we're poor. Doesn't matter if we're bleeding out. Doesn't matter if we revered you our whole lives. Doesn't matter anything at all. we're always going to be less than you. And that just, it clicks for him. And he's like, I have to take you out. I'm sorry, but you don't belong in this world. It's like, you're not less than us. We're the same. Like, we are people too, right? Like, and so he stabs him. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Did you guys see that coming? Him stabbing Mr. Kim? Because Mr. Park, I did not see that coming at all. I really thought like it could not get worse than this, and then it fucking does. Like I was like, this is too much. Like, what the hell? Yeah, so those are some of my favorite moments. I honestly don't have anything bad to say about the film. Really phenomenal acting, phenomenal shots. That shot of when Choi Yo-jung like comes up the stairs entering the house, and she's already suspicious of the housekeeper, and she sees her coughing, and then Sung-ho holds up the tissue of blood that's not real. And when she sees that, just that shot of her walking up and the realization and the horror in her eyes, I'm like, okay, this is a little bit different. We're shooting these a little bit different. We're capturing emotions a little bit different. We're acting differently. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is a film. Just a really amazing shots. Amazing story. I mean, we're really looking at like what people are doing for themselves to get out of poverty, you know, doing whatever it takes. Already so poor, we don't have anything to lose. But that's not true. You do have something to lose. You can lose your life. You can lose your family, you know? It's kind of crazy that like these sort of thoughts never really enter your mind. You're like, I don't have anything else to lose. Like, I'm already so low down there. But you do, you know? And then them being so wealthy, it's like, well, I have everything in the world. Nothing can be taken from me, but everything can be taken from you, obviously. I mean, it happens literally within a moment. Your life is changed instantly. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys really like this. I tried to do more talk about some moments in the film versus, you know, giving my plot of it, just because I know I can ramble for so long. So hopefully you guys like really got my points, saw why I loved it, and maybe you guys have some other points as to why you loved it. So you can comment below, you can tweet at me, and yeah, I will be back with another video. Bye guys.